Sultanate of Oman, represented by Omani Journalists Association and in cooperation with the International Federation of Journalists, hosts the 31st International Conference of the General Federation of Journalists, Congress, as the first Middle Eastern country to ever host this international event. The four-day event is attended by press unions and associations from different continents to brainstorm and discuss the present and future scenarios of media, current developments, freedom of press, and challenges faced by journalists around the world.
I'm very impressed to be in such a lavish and impressive conference venue. We are looking forward to several days of intense discussion about how our international organisation can best look after the welfare of journalists. We're particularly concerned with the safety of journalists around the world. Journalists have found themselves threatened both on social media and physically. Journalists have been killed. That's a matter of great concern to us. We're very concerned about the surveillance of journalists. There are cunning devices like Pegasus that allow journalists' telephones to be bugged by all sorts of people who want to find journalist sources. So we're hoping that by discussing those with this huge international group of journalists, we'll find new strategies and ways to combat these risks, because it's our belief that journalism is vital to democratic and progressive societies.
During the opening ceremony, the Sultanate of Oman Award for the Best Press Photo in the World was announced, and 5 families of journalists who lost their lives while performing their duties were honored. The opening also witnessed announcing the Asian and Pacific Federation of Journalists and electing its executive office.
First time in Oman, obviously. I think it's the first time in the Middle East. And also the first IFJ Congress for me. So in this connection here, I'm a rookie. Very interesting to meet colleagues from all over the world. Also, it's going to be interesting days, I think, to discuss various things about how journalism is today in today's society. We have a war obviously in Europe now, so press freedom is extremely important for us. Earlier today we discussed COVID-19, how has that impacted on press freedom, for example. So for me this is one of the biggest issues today to discuss, as both in the unions and as journalists, so I'm looking forward to doing that.
His Highness Sayyid As'ad bin Tariq Al Said stressed that the Omani media has witnessed major transformations and has been able to keep pace with all developments and changes that the media is witnessing, praising the role of the Omani Journalists Association and its effort in preparing to host this international conference. As many as 350 journalists representing associations from over 100 countries are participating in the 31st edition of the International Federations of Journalists Congress, in addition to 50 journalists who represent TV channels, radios, and newspapers from all over the world. From Oman Convention and Exhibition Center, Sausan Ali Al Sulaimaniya.